sleeplessness and arose at every sound. Half in hopeless sorrow, half in fear the day we'll find the soldiers breaking through to drag us all away. It was just before the sunrise, I heard something at the wall. The gate began to rattle and a voice began to call. I hurried to the window, looked down into the street, expecting swords and torches and the sound of soldiers' feet. There was no one there but Mary, so I went down to let her in. John stood there beside me as she told me where she'd been. She said they moved him in the night and none of us know where. The stone's been rolled away and now his body isn't there. So we both ran toward the garden and John ran on ahead. We found the stone and the empty tomb just the way that Mary said. With the winding sheet they wrapped him in was just an empty shell. And how or where they'd taken him was more than I could tell. Oh, something strange had happened there, but just what I didn't know. John believed a miracle, but I just turned to go. Circumstance and speculation couldn't lift me very high, 'cause I'd seen him crucified and I'd watched him die. Oh, back inside the house again, the guilt and anguish came. Everything I promised him just added to my shame. And when at last it came to choices, I denied I knew his name. And even if he was alive, it wouldn't be the same. And then suddenly the air was filled with a strange and sweet perfume. Light that shone from everywhere drove shadows from the room. And Jesus stood before me with his arms held open wide. And I fell down to my knees and I just clung to him and cried. And then he raised me to my feet and he looked me in the eyes. And love came pouring out from him like sunlight from the sky. Healed my confusion, they disappeared in sweet release. And every fear I'd ever had just melted into peace. Well, that is to me one of the greatest Easter songs of all time. That's He's Alive by Dolly Parton. And it tells the story about the events of the crucifixion leading up to the resurrection, of just how it might have been from Peter's point of view. And it's really fun to play. I had a really good time with it. I played it in a way that I don't typically do a lot of. It's a departure from my normal bluegrass style of playing. But it's a really fun song, but it's also a very meaningful song. And it's something very thought-provoking. And I enjoy songs like that that tell a story. So thanks for listening. Please come back next week for another gospel tune. That is He's Alive by Dolly Parton.
Cut.
Well, that is to me one of...
Cut.